Most people think modern life is hard. Bills, stress, deadlines, loneliness. But at least you probably won't die tonight because you fell asleep in the wrong place. A prehistoric human could. And that's the part most people never really think about. Because when we imagine prehistoric life, we imagine something almost peaceful. Small tribes, campfires, nature. But real prehistoric life was not peaceful. It was survival. Constant survival. Every sound mattered. Every injury mattered. Every night mattered. And for most humans alive back then, making it through one ordinary day was already an achievement, because the world they lived in was designed to kill them. And strangely, that world still exists inside your brain. Every fear you have in the dark started there. Imagine waking up 40,000 years ago, not in a bed, not inside a house, but on freezing stone. Your back hurts, your stomach already feels empty, and before your eyes even fully open, your brain asks one question: am I safe? Not successful, not happy, safe. Because safety was never guaranteed. During the night, predators could wander close to camp. A storm could extinguish the fire. Another tribe could attack. Or maybe may actually be ancient survival software. But that wasn't even the worst part. Because the moment you wake up, the real problem begins. Food. Modern humans get irritated when food delivery takes too long. Prehistoric humans sometimes walked for days without eating, and hunger changes people. After enough time without food, the human brain stops behaving normally. Your thinking narrows, your patience disappears, your body starts conserving energy, and eventually, survival becomes more important than morality. Which explains something uncomfortable about human nature. Civilization did not erase our instincts, it just buried them, deeply. So now you leave the cave. The air is cold, wet, heavy. You carry a spear made from sharpened stone, which sounds primitive, until you realize this weapon may decide whether your children eat tonight. And suddenly, that sharpened stick becomes the most valuable object in your world. The forest ahead is silent, too silent, and humans hate silence for a reason. In nature, silence often means something nearby is hunting. So your group moves carefully, slowly, watching everything. Because out there, you are not the apex predator. You are simply intelligent prey trying to survive long enough to reproduce. And this is the part history books rarely make you feel. Humans were weak, physically weak. No claws, no armor, no venom, no incredible speed. Compared to most predators, we were fragile, almost pathetic. But humans had one terrifying advantage. We could imagine death before it happened. And that ability changed everything. Because fear became a tool. Fear kept humans alive. The same fear you still feel when you hear footsteps behind you at night. The same fear that makes you uncomfortable in complete darkness. Your brain still remembers the ancient world, even if your life does not. Eventually, your group finds tracks, fresh tracks. A large animal passed through recently. This could mean food or danger, sometimes both. So everyone follows carefully, heartbeats rising, breathing slower. And after hours of searching, you finally see it. A deer. For 1 second, hope appears. But then something strange happens. Nobody moves immediately, because hunting wasn't heroic. It was terrifying. One mistake could cripple you. And in prehistoric life, a serious injury was often worse than starvation. Today, if you cut your leg badly, you disinfect it, bandage it, take antibiotics. Back then, a small infected wound could kill you slowly over weeks. Which means something absurdly small, like tripping over a rock, could become a death sentence. And that is exactly what happens. Someone runs, the deer bolts, people chase, then suddenly, a scream, a fall, blood. The hunt instantly changes. Now the group has two problems: no food and an injured human. And injured humans were dangerous liabilities. Not because prehistoric people were cruel, but because survival had rules. Cold rules. Brutal rules. If one person slowed the group too much, everyone could die. This is the uncomfortable reality hidden underneath human evolution. Compassion existed, but survival always came first. And this is the part almost nobody talks about. Human morality becomes very different when nature stops protecting you. But even predators were not the deadliest thing in prehistoric life. The real killer was invisible. Bacteria, parasites, disease, tiny organisms humans couldn't even understand. You drink dirty water once, you could die. You develop a tooth infection, you could die. You cut your hand while making tools, you could die. Modern humans completely underestimate how horrifying illness used to be, because pain back then had no escape, no hospitals, no anesthesia, no painkillers, just suffering, raw suffering. Imagine having a severe toothache for weeks, no treatment, no relief, just pain spreading through your skull while your body slowly weakens. And suddenly, prehistoric life stops feeling adventurous. It starts feeling claustrophobic, like existence itself is pressing against your throat. But night was still coming, and night changed everything. When darkness arrived in the prehistoric world, humans lost control. Fire became the only barrier between life and death. Beyond that tiny orange light, there was only uncertainty. And maybe that's why humans still stare into campfires today, because fire once represented safety itself. Your group sits silently around the flames. Nobody talks much. Energy must be conserved. The forest around you is black, infinite black. Then, a sound. Something moved. Every person freezes. This moment, this exact moment, may be one of the oldest human experiences still alive inside your nervous system. The fear of something unseen watching you from darkness. Not imagined fear, real fear, ancient fear. The kind of fear your ancestors survived thousands of times so that one day you could exist. And suddenly you realize something disturbing. Modern humans still live inside bodies designed for prehistoric terror. That's why darkness unsettles us, why isolation hurts us, why uncertainty exhausts us, why silence can feel threatening. Your brain was shaped in a world where everything could kill you, and deep down, part of it still believes that world is real. Because for most of human history, it was. But somehow, humans survived. Against cold, against hunger, against predators, against disease, against nature itself, generation after generation. Which means every human alive today is descended from people who endured unimaginable conditions long enough to reproduce. Not because they were fearless, but because they adapted, again and again. And maybe that's the strangest part of all this. Prehistoric humans were not superhuman. They were terrified, exhausted, hungry, cold, and still they kept going. Which means human civilization was not built by comfort. It was built by survival, by frightened people sitting beside weak fires in endless darkness, trying to stay alive one more night. And maybe that's why this story matters. Because this isn't really about prehistoric humans. It's about you, your fears, your instincts, your anxiety, your need for safety, your fear of darkness. Your brain still carries echoes from a world where survival was never guaranteed, a world where one small mistake could erase you forever. And honestly, that world may not be as far away as we think. Because the most dangerous thing in prehistoric life wasn't dinosaurs. It wasn't giant predators. It wasn't even the darkness. It was ordinary life itself. And somehow, your ancestors survived it anyway.